There's a land between two rivers where the Severn meets the sea, and the silver wye runs laughing on her journey to be free of the cliffs that hold her close from Coppet Hill to Beachley Quay. That's the land where I belong, where I long to be. There's a land between two peoples where the morning air's like wine, and the hands that reach in friendship bear the blue scars of the mine, where the tongues sound rough to strangers' ears, but the words they speak are kind. That's the land where I belong, the place for me and mine. There's a land between two nations where the Severn meets the Wye, and 100,000 treetops reach their branches to the sky. You can lie and watch the salmon swim by cliffs where falcons fly. That's the land where I was born, where I wish to die. There's a land between two rivers where the Severn meets the sea, and the silver wye runs laughing on her journey to be free of the cliffs that hold her close from Coppet Hill to Beachley Quay. That's the land where I belong, where I long to be.
So I'm going to start off with a bit of poetry I wrote for this campaign when I first started. It's been a while since I said this in public, so it's going to be cracking. We won't let our timbers be made into fences to fence off the woods from the ones who respect it. We won't be made to walk upon paths conveniently gravelled. We're humans, not cars. We won't be stopped from smelling the flowers or lying in patches of bluebells for hours. These woods are our forest, this forest is our home, and we won't stop fighting till you leave it alone. Do the words "not for sale" mean nothing to you? Do we have to mark every tree to get our view through? Can you sleep at night knowing that kids have stopped playing in the woods, they've stopped learning about the environments plants growing in their graves? Yeah? Foresters are turning. This forest is our property, it is our right, it is our prophecy to keep the wood's integrity with vigour and with honesty. So come on, Dean community, stand and fight with unity. These woods belong to you and me, these woods belong to me.
This land is your land, this land is my land. From the coast of Cornwall to the Scottish Highlands, from the sacred forests to the holy islands. This land was made for you and me. As I walked out through the homeless counties, the traffic raging all around me, I closed my eyes and dreamed how it could be. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. This land I saw a sign there when I was walking, and on the sign it said no trespassing, but on the other side it didn't say nothing. This sign was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land, from the coast of Cornwall to the Scottish Highland, from the sacred forest to the holy islands. This land was made for you and me. As the clouds went rolling and the church bells ringing, I heard the songs that the birds were singing. As night came falling, they went on calling. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land, from the coast of Cornwall to the Scottish Highlands, from the sacred forest to the holy islands. This land was made for you and me. From the teeming city I made my escape to find my place in the mystic landscape. I'm not the first here, nor am I the last here. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land, from the coast of Cornwall to the Scottish Highlands, from the sacred forest to the holy islands. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land, from the coast of Cornwall to the Scottish Highlands, from the sacred forest to the holy islands. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land, from the coast of Cornwall to the Scottish Highlands, from the sacred forest to the holy islands. This land was made for you and me.
Ah. So now, the signs everywhere went up that the forest had become crown land. And everywhere you looked, you could see the signs.
The law locks up the man or woman who steals the goose from off the common.
But leaves the greater villain loose who steals the common from the goose.
Oh, won't you find me a home? 'Cause I am tired of doing it on my own. How long till you've had enough of this? I ain't gonna give up anything. I can see you're trying to sell off the land where I live. Let me remind you, you've got a nice place to go when you were cold. Let me remind you, you've got a place till y'all feel safe when you grow old. Let me remind you, got a place you're not ashamed to call your own. So tell them to leave the forest of Dean alone. Gotta break the silence, we're gonna claim the trees today. There's a time for violence, but it's only if they don't back away. Do you know that dynamite can move from minds to minds? Let me remind you, you've got a nice place to go when you were cold. Let me remind you, you've got a place where y'all feel safe when you grow old. Let me remind you, got a place you're not ashamed to call your own. So tell them to leave the forest of Dean alone. Let me remind you, you've got a nice place to go when you were cold. Let me remind you, you've got a place where y'all feel of Dean alone. Let me remind you, you got a place to go when you were cold. Let me remind you,
concern forestry. The government is exploring a new approach to ownership and the management of woodlands and forests, with a reduced role for the state and a bigger role for individuals, businesses, civil society organisations and local authorities. I wish to assure the House that this government will not compromise the protection of our most valuable and biodiverse forests, including our historic woodlands. Measures will remain to preserve and enhance the vital public benefits which our forests provide. The government will consult widely on its future plans and invite views from a wide variety of stakeholders.
Clause 17.2 enables the Secretary of State by order to amend the Forestry Act 1967 to modify the purposes or objective or conditions by which the Forestry Commission disposes of land, manages and uses it, or lets or grants rights or interests over it. The Secretary of State may exercise such a function for any purpose and unconditionally. Chilling words, my lords. It would appear that this allows the Secretary of State to order the disposal of any Forestry Commission land in England or its use for some other purpose. It is hard to conceive why ministers want such draconian powers, unless it is the government's intention to dispose of much or all of the Forestry Commission's land. I have no idea why the government would wish to do that, and perhaps the noble Lord the Minister could tell us.
We're here to celebrate our beautiful and unique ancient forest, and we're here to defend our ancient privileges and customs. We're here to protest and to voice our concerns about government plans to sell off the public forest estate in England. Foresters have got a proud history of protest, struggle and victories, and today we're continuing, brothers and sisters, in that tradition. We cannot and we must not allow our forest to be sold. We shouldn't even have to consider the question, do you wish to buy your forest? Because it already belongs to us. There is, friends, a world of difference between rights and privileges, and the Dean is the only state forest where the local people have got no rights whatsoever, and if it were sold, we would lose our customary privileges and our vibrant traditions would be threatened. In a normal legislative process, and I'm sorry to be a bit boring for a minute, but it's really important, the government produces a green paper for consultation. Then it often lays out detailed policy and a plan of action in a white paper before publishing a bill. In this case, we've got a bill wending its way through Parliament to be followed by a white paper and then a consultation. I think that I'd call this arse over tit. Where was the green paper and when was the consultation? What this topsy-turvy situation means is that no matter what the white paper may say, unless we amend the Public Bodies Bill, the Forest of Dean, along with all the other forests, could be sold. It's there in black and white. White papers are mere proposals, but a bill becomes an act of Parliament, which is the law of the land. And ministers responsible for the bill have said that the bill will fundamentally reform the public forestry estate with diminishing public ownership and a greater role of private and civil society partners. So please keep seeking support, keep writing letters, because somehow I've got to ensure that that Public Bodies Bill is amended. I hope that our MP Mark Harper will be able to persuade the government to accept the amendments that I'm tabling together with the Bishop of Gloucester and Rennie Fritchie, but if he doesn't, I have to ensure that I've got enough votes to carry the amendments against the wishes of the coalition government. That's why your letters are so important. So get writing to our MP, to our parish, county and local councillors, especially those councillors who didn't have the balls to sign up to the resolution, the very good resolution from Andrew Gardner, which was adopted at the last council meeting. And if you're a member of any environmental or conservation organisation, write to them about our forest. Advocacy alone will not win votes. I need to be able to demonstrate to the government and to my fellow peers that the campaign to retain the forest and the Forest of Dimmock in public ownership is serious, and it's got enormous public support, as we see today. So go to it, campaign, and we will win.
We moved to Cheltenham 20 years ago, and from that point on we've been regular visitors to the forest, have enjoyed everything it has to offer, have loved the sense of this being a living, vibrant community in more ways than people can begin to imagine. A living, human community, first and foremost, as well as an ecological community that has massive value that I think a lot of people understand when they get a chance to get to know it. For us, being this close to the forest has been an incredible privilege, and I feel very privileged to be here today, to have been invited to speak on behalf of this campaign, the Hoof campaign, to see what needs to be done now to protect the forest and ensure that this government's irresponsible, insane plans do not go ahead. Do not be seduced by the siren words of Mark Harper, the Forestry Minister, or anybody else in this government when they tell you that everything will be all right once you get to see the white paper. That is just a whole farrago of lies, lies, and lies. We know what the intention of this government is now. They've made it very clear, even though not all of it has come out yet in the public domain. They would like to see as much of the public forest estate sold off into private hands as fast as possible, with as big a receipt coming back into the Treasury as possible. We know now that there is a fight on. There are some people in the UK, some people in England today, who think the government is going to get the right balance when it comes to the public forest estate. I was talking to some friends near the Isle of Wight and up into the New Forest the other day, and they seem to be rather more relaxed about what's going on in the bill and the white paper than we are here in the Forest of Dean. I think relaxation is just one stop short of complacency. I don't think we have any basis on which to trust anything that we hear from this government at the moment, and this kind of action today, this kind of rally, this kind of expression of very direct public anger is a critical part of persuading this government, and Mark Harper in particular, that they shall not move forward with this proposal. There are defining moments for all governments. When the Labour government was elected in 1997, it could get away with practically whatever it wanted to begin with. In 2000, for the first time, it made a massive error. And you will, I'm sure, recall the fuel tax protests that seriously destabilized the government at that time. It was a shock to their system, a shock to their sense that they could do no wrong. And there was, from that point on, a vulnerability and fragility about the Labour government which surprised everybody. But maybe this is the defining moment, the point at which people say, this is not right, this is not the proper way to proceed. And if this campaign here in the Forest of Dean becomes the symbol around which people begin to rethink what it is that we want from our government, then it'll be a great deal more powerful than Mark Harper and his colleagues currently believe. I just feel very empowered to be part of this. I've spent 35 years of my life campaigning for one cause or another. Some of them have been unwinnable, some of them have been winnable, Some have been against the odds, some have been with the odds. All I know is that this is a campaign that has at its heart the integrity and spirit of a massively powerful group of people, which will undoubtedly win the day. More power to all of our elbows. Thank you.
While Warren never lived to see a free Farstadine, though he fought and gave his life for that cause. Why the government has run out of cash by selling our land, they want to get it back. Not for sale shall always be our call. Well, times may change, but they somehow stay the same. So we'll rise up and fight once again. Yeah, we shall stand our ground, and of his legacy be proud. Long live the spirit of Warren James. Well, Harper, he's our man. He could speak out against this plan, but the boy dreams of the front bench when he sleeps. While he should be more concerned, and I believe he's gonna learn to be wary of those who vote for this seat. Well, times may change, but they somehow stay the same. So we'll rise up and fight once again. Yeah, we will stand our ground, and of his legacy be proud. Long live the spirit of Warren James. So here in our forest home, we'll fight for what we own, just as we have fought all who came before. Well, no fence will keep us out, of that I have no doubt. For the Farstadine belongs to us all. While Warren may be gone, but his legacy lingers on, and we'll fight just as hard as he did in his day. So lift your voices and be heard, and let London fear these words. Long live the spirit of Warren James. Hey, times may change, but they somehow stay the same. So we'll rise up and fight once again. Yeah, we shall stand our ground, and of his legacy be proud. Long live the spirit of Warren James. Yeah, long live the spirit of Warren James. Yeah, long live the spirit of Warren James.
Couldn't he find a bigger venue? Couldn't he find a bigger venue? Only a boxy little room? What's going on? He doesn't want to hear us, does he? Does he think we're stupid? Yes. He doesn't want to make a noise. Hands off our forest! 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 Mark Harper, come down! Get Harper down here! 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 Get Harper down here!
Please, Mark, a pretty brief point. Yeah. Could I just express how disappointed I am at the organisation of this meeting? To hear you talk about this proposal, and I understand the reasons why you haven't said anything until now. 24 hours notice, a venue that holds a pocket full of people. I've heard there's 200 people outside. Please keep your promise and have a second public meeting, have it in a bigger venue, have your PA working so we can all have a good debate. That's number one. Number two, just express the fear about a charitable trust. Okay? I think it was expressed earlier in the evening. People don't believe it because I've already heard of 5 names put forward for that charitable trust. One's an asset stripper, one's an open cast person, and the other one's a builder. So if that's the sort of people we're going to have in a charitable trust, forget it. And number 3, why don't you do the honourable thing for your party and for yourself? 400,000 people and rising have voted against this on the 38 Degrees website. 10,000 people have signed a petition in the Forest of Dean. 3,000 people came out in a snowstorm, freezing cold, to tell you how we feel about it. Thousands and thousands of people looking at the Hoof website. Just call a halt to it now and say, we've made a mistake, let's call a halt to it, let's do away with the public bodies, the forestry sections of the Public Forest Bill, and let's get on with our business, because
I'm sorry, we got this one wrong, but we have listened to people's concerns. I would like to thank colleagues for their support through what has been a very difficult issue. I now want to move forward in step with the public. I hope that the measures that I've announced today, signalling a fresh approach, demonstrate my intention to do the right thing for our forests and our woodlands.
Word for the trees, you can't see the word for the trees. Now we have a poliotician. I'm told he's a very nice chap. He says that he stands for the forest, but we know that's a load of old crap. He tells us that we should be mellow and buy this land for a small fee. But we know he's in hock and he's yellow, and he can't see the word for the trees. Word for the trees, word for the trees. He can't see the word for the trees. Word for the trees, word for the trees. You can't see the word for the tree. 'Twas big business and banks that got us here, and the government's there for the blame. Red, yellow or blue makes no difference. You're useless, you're all just the same. And meanwhile the bankers are cosy and continue to do as they please. They've shattered this land with their greed and their plans, and we can't see the word for the trees. Word for the trees, word for the trees. We can't see the word for the trees. Word for the trees, word for the trees. We can't see the word for the trees. Things are afoot in our forest, and the ghosts of our forefathers rise. The forester's way is to fight, not to pray. I will pull the wool from your blind eye. We'll fight every inch for our forest. With our spirit and guts we'll achieve the right to roam free twixt the Severn and Wye, and you won't see the word for the trees. Wood for the trees, wood for the trees. You won't see the word for the trees. Wood for the trees, wood for the trees. You won't see the word for the trees. Wood for the trees, wood for the trees. You won't see the word for the trees. Wood for the trees, wood for the trees. Won't see the word for the trees.
And dreamed how it could be. This land was made for you and me.
So I am going, no one can stop me. Where the wildflowers growing, clean rivers flowing, where the roads are flowing, and the trees are whispering. This land was made for you and me. Go together! This land is your land, this land is my land, from the coast of Cornwall to the Scottish Highlands, from the sacred forest to the streets of Brixton. This land was made for you and me.
So we've been trying to alert people to this since June, and thankfully now people are just starting to wake up and see what this bill could potentially do. That will mean that sometime in the future this government tell us that they have no intention of disposing of the forests. They've given us a written statement, but that's all it is. It's just a written statement from a government which has 6 months of its term left. What we're interested in is forests in the lifetime of trees, not in the lifetime of governments. So we're looking to protect our forests for generations, not for the life of a parliament. This parliament's got 6 months to go, after which what they say will not be binding on the next government, whatever colour or persuasion it is. So what we're asking for today, another auspicious thing, is today in the Lords, the amendments which we're backing, which have been tabled by Baroness Royal from Blaisdon, are going to come before the Lords this afternoon. So we're waiting frantically for any news, but they're going to sit until 10 o'clock tonight, so we might have a long wait. But they're actually being debated as we march around Mallard's Pike. Now what we've asked is for the complete exemption of all the public forest land from the infrastructure bill, and that's the only thing that we'll be satisfied with. We've had 4 years of promises, 4 years of written statements. We want to see the public forest exempted in the legislation. So that's the only thing we'll be satisfied for. Now, even if we get the amendments today, and that's not certain I'm afraid, even if we get the amendments today, we need to be vigilant and we need to watch out, because this bill started in the Lords and is still yet to go to the Commons. So they could overturn our amendments in the Commons if they're passed, or they could change them, and we need to be very, very vigilant. And we're trying to persuade our MP, Mr Mark Harper, to back us and to back the amendments. Okay, well, we've got to try.
Yeah, we've got to try, yeah.
So you might have seen our public letter in the paper a few weeks ago asking Mark for his support. I'm afraid we haven't received a reply from Mark either privately or publicly.
What a surprise.
Okay, so, well, you can draw your own conclusions about that. Hoof's not a political group in any shape or form. All we can do is go and ask our elected representatives.
You can try and spin, but we'll never give in. Because this place is not for sale. This place. Here we go.
Blow, wind, blow, soft and low. What do you take us for? We've been here 1,000 years. We'll be here 1,000 more. Women and men, gather them. I've got some things to say. People are coming with big ideas to sail our land away. I will fight with all my might, but I cannot stand alone. Money's not worth anything compared to a And I won't lose the land beneath my feet, and I will never admit defeat. I will walk wherever I please amongst the hills and the tracks and the trees. I won't lose the land beneath my feet. I will never admit defeat. I will walk wherever I please amongst the hills and the tracks and the trees. So blow, blow, soft and low. Why do you take us for? We've been here 1,000 years. We'll be here 1,000 more.
Hands off our forest mural, Ruadine Post Office, Forest of Dean. Stoats have what's known as lockjaws. Once locked on, even after death the stoat's jaws won't release. The only way to save our forests is to develop this trait and bite the hands of greed who would plunder the public natural assets.
This forest's not for sale. If it goes, it's gone forever. We'll never get it back, no matter how hard we may try. If we lose this battle now, then the forest won't recover, and future generations will ask the reason why. Our fathers' fathers laboured for the things we take for granted, in the fields and in the darkness of the mines below the fern, and now we hold in trust those rights which grew from seeds they planted, so the children of the future might enjoy them in their turn. Through 1,000 years and more, these traditions have been growing. The forest is our heritage, our treasure and our joy. But through these ancient woodlands now a chilly wind is blowing. The Dean is not for private profit, this is not a rich man's toy. The forest is not for sale and our views must be respected. The forest is for everyone, the nation must be told. We'll fight to keep our heritage and ancient rights protected, and Parliament must learn the forest won't be bought and sold. Hold on to what we've got. If it's sold, it's lost forever. Hold on to what we've got. If it goes, it's gone for good. Hold on to what we've got, or the forest won't recover. If you care about tomorrow, just hold on to what we've got.